why they're following them. To me, it was a bit, I don't want to say shocking, but, seeing that I can see here and we asking like, why do you follow them, right? And we have content, 27%. And to be honest, I thought that avatar aesthetics was a bit more. It was only 12%. And storytelling, almost 19%. What really shocked me, it is two things. One, they inspire me. Okay, so we asked like, do they inspire you? And 16% choose that. And music, 15%. Now, I'm a millennial, so I grew up with the Gorillaz. I say this all the time, this example. I noticed that not many, especially Gen Z, know about them. And it was this band, right? It's still a band that was created with CGI characters making music. So back in the time, it was the only example. But we found out that actually there are virtual influencers making music on Spotify. I didn't know about that, to be honest. It was something new that I learned. But to be honest, I was not expecting 15% of the people following virtual influencers for the music. Is there something here that I don't know, Marcelo, or were you shocked as well?
I was shocked as well because I didn't know either. When I did the research for the survey, I was shocked too because they have proper profiles on their Spotify, just like any other artist.
Okay.
So that's really interesting because they treat like a platform like Spotify, like their Instagram maybe. So they like you create music, which is not something like easy,
Mm-hmm.
I guess for someone that can generate a virtual influencer, might not be that hard, but still, I think it's really interesting. And one thing that also stood out to me is that people think they are inspired by influencers, and they love the interaction. 12% of them love the interaction. I feel like this is really interesting because, virtual influencer, they might be, of course, computer generated, but I feel like people can relate to them because they are very good at storytelling, and they create these scenarios of their life. They come to Instagram or TikTok with already a plot and maybe a storytell that goes from here to 5 years after. So that's really interesting. According to Virtual Humans, there's more than 150 virtual influencers on social media, which, I think is a big number, considering it's like a recent phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can expect more. And the people that's in our survey that said that we asked why they don't follow virtual influencer, they said they're not interested for the 50%. For the 25% prefer real influencer, but for another 25%, they didn't know they existed. So that's really interesting.
Of course. Yeah, again, as we said before, we found out that not a lot of people, they don't even know. And I also talked with some, Gen Z, users, and they told me I didn't know. For me, it was like something generational. You are now younger, you should expect, especially if you are, that age to know. But they also told me, but sometimes it's still related to, for example, gaming. And so if you're not really into gaming, it might be a bit difficult that you even know about, them. And we saw, I think, a good split between where they follow them, right? We found out about that Instagram around, 30%, YouTube 30%, and TikTok a bit less, around 20%. I think that because TikTok is so new that you don't really need, I think, maybe virtual influencers, right? Compared to Instagram, there is or YouTube more saturated where you want something new. But potentially it's going to go also on TikTok, maybe in a few months or 1 year or something like that, when it's going to be more saturated, right? So interesting to see that. Of course, we also asked, and I think another big percentage is going to be on Twitch, because especially with the sensors on your body to become sort of like this digital avatar in real time, and were better than Twitch, right, to do something like that. But what also was really interesting, again, it is that whenever we talk about influencer marketing, then it's a way to promote something, like could be a product, could be an app. Many times people ask like, what is influencer marketing? And it is mostly just to use these people that might have a micro or medium or macro audience with a specific niche and a geolocation, and because they have this fantastic relationship or this unique trust between each others, right, from the audience to the influencer, they are able, as the term itself says, to influence the others, right? And so something it is easy to say, right, like you are a real human being with your personality, your passions and hobbies, your way to do things, your language and lingo, your tone of voice and everything. So it's easier, right, to get a connection. So we also ask them, okay, influencer marketing, these influencers are influencing the others in doing actions because, again, it's peer-to-peer communication, it's relatable. Or it's aspirational, inspirational sometimes, right? So the question for us was like, how can you trust or how can you be influenced by a virtual influencer, again, in buying something? So we asked them, right, have you ever bought at least one item? And this is something that, to be honest, I was expecting as terms for issues. But Marcella, can you just check again what was the exact split between the yes and no? So again, the question was, have you ever bought a product or service promoted by a virtual influencer?
Mm-hmm. So we had 65% of people responding no and 35% of people responding yes.
Okay, so what can this tell us? Do you think it's going to change in time? It is, again, something generation, it is about because it's too niche? Is it because at the end of the day, people just trust other people and not really CGI? What's your take on that?
I mean, I feel like we will definitely see this changing once virtual influencer maybe become more part of our, social media experiences, like in China. Mm-hmm. We will always follow China when it comes to these things because, for example, in China there are these virtual influencers that they are so well done that people couldn't even realize there are